The arrival of a U.S. military plane in Amritsar on February 5, 2025, should not have been a cause for surprise. It carried no dignitaries, no diplomats, but 104 Indians, each with a story cut short, each branded undesirable in the land of their dreams. These were not tourists returning from a holiday, but deportees, forcibly returned to a homeland they had tried to leave behind. Their arrival, however, sparked a storm, not because of their numbers, for this was just another instance in a long, ongoing process, but because of how they were brought back, shackled, handcuffed, a poignant tableau of despair. India has grown accustomed to the sight of its citizens being deported from the U.S. Since 2009, over 15,000 Indians have faced this fate, their hopes of a better life dashed against the unforgiving rocks of immigration laws. But the sight of these 104 individuals, their hands and feet bound, struck a raw nerve. Opposition leaders were quick to condemn the act, calling it an affront to India's dignity. The images of these men, heads bowed low, were splashed across newspapers and television screens, igniting a debate about the human cost of chasing the American dream. Facing a barrage of criticism, the Indian government, in the form of External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar, stepped forward with an explanation. The use of restraints, he clarified, was not a vindictive act aimed at humiliating Indian citizens, but standard operating procedure for U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE. These were not measures arbitrarily imposed, but part of a protocol enshrined in ICE regulations dating back to 2012. Jaishankar further elaborated that the use of restraints was not indiscriminate. Women, children, and individuals with medical needs were exempt. The minister emphasized that the well-being of deportees was paramount during the deportation process. Food, medical attention, and toilet breaks were provided as needed, ensuring that the journey, however emotionally taxing, was not physically unbearable. The government, he assured, was committed to ensuring the humane treatment of its citizens, even those facing deportation. The journey from hopeful immigrant to dejected deportee is rarely linear or straightforward. It often begins with an arrest, sometimes during routine traffic stops, other times in sweeping workplace raids. The fear, the uncertainty, the sudden wrenching away from a familiar life, these are the hallmarks of the deportation process. Once apprehended, individuals are placed in ICE detention centers, facilities that have often been criticized for their conditions. For some, the ordeal ends quickly with an expedited removal, a process reserved for recent arrivals. For others, it can drag on for years, a limbo of legal battles and desperate appeals. The final act, the deportation itself, usually unfolds in one of two ways: a commercial flight, often under guard, or a chartered ICE plane, increasingly a military aircraft in recent years. Each instance is a stark reminder of the human cost of immigration enforcement, a system that leaves little room for nuance or second chances. Section 4, Shackles and Solidarity. The sight of the handcuffed deportees in Amritsar did not sit well with many. Opposition leaders, in a show of solidarity, staged demonstrations outside Parliament, their hands bound by similar restraints. The message was clear: the treatment meted out to these deportees was unacceptable, an affront to their dignity and an insult to the nation. This was not just about 104 individuals, but about the thousands of Indians who braved perilous journeys, endured hardships, and contributed to their adopted country, only to be sent back in shackles. The protests were a reflection of the growing unease among a section of Indians about the way their compatriots are treated by foreign governments. The image of a handcuffed deportee resonated because it brought to the fore the vulnerability of Indians abroad, especially those who navigate the treacherous waters of illegal immigration. It was a stark reminder that for all its economic and military might, India still grappled with protecting its citizens beyond its borders. Section 5. Dignity in Defeat. The debate sparked by the arrival of the deportees from America transcends the immediate incident. It forces us to confront uncomfortable questions about the human cost of stringent immigration policies. Is the use of restraints, even if justified on security grounds, the most humane approach? Can a nation that prides itself on its democratic values turn a blind eye to the plight of individuals, even those who might have violated its laws? The deportation of the 104 Indians is a stark reminder of the human faces behind the statistics, the dreams shattered, the families torn apart. It underscores the need for a more compassionate and humane approach to immigration, one that respects the dignity of individuals even as it enforces the law. While the government has defended the current procedures, the outcry suggests a growing sentiment that perhaps a reassessment is in order. The challenge before us is to find a balance between enforcing the law and upholding human dignity, to